Before we get to this video, a couple tech issues. Sound, I believe, is only coming out of the left side, so bear with that. And also the intro got cut off a little bit, so I guess I'll just do it here. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Big Apple Baseball Banter. Here with Elias. Call in 585-622-4931 for voicemail to get on our podcast. Today we're not doing the podcast. We're actually doing a tier list. Mets-related tier list. We're basically going to rank the performance of all the 2020 New York Mets. I didn't make this, so looking at some guys didn't play, some guys barely played, some guys were like alternate site guys, so we might not even rank them, but we'll just get to this now. So first guy we have is Matt Adams. Oh, and let me just explain the tiers. So obviously S tier's the best, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, F tier, obviously. So first guy here is Matt Adams, who signed with the Mets on a minor league deal, played in spring training, played in summer camp, and then took his release clause, and then went to the Braves and actually played against the Mets on his first game. So we're gonna drag him down here because he didn't actually play for the Mets. Pete Alonso, probably my favorite player on the team, didn't have a great year, struck out a ton, didn't even play the field that much, which it's not like because he was a bad fielder, he had a better option. Well, he's not a great fielder, but he had a better option with Dom Smith. So he's predominantly played as DH and didn't hit all that great. So Pete Alonso in 2019 is either S or A. I'd probably say S just 'cause the fact he was a rookie. This year, going between B and C. I'm not saying, oh, this dude's screwed. I'm gonna drop him in B because he had hot stretches. He showed signs of really coming on, but it just didn't work out. I definitely think he's gonna have a much better year next year. I still think he's a top 10 first baseman. I think he's one of the best first basemen in the league. I still love Pete. I got his jersey and everything. So next is Tyler Bachelor. I don't think he played with the Mets this year, so we're just gonna drag him down here with Matt Adams. Dallin Betances, man, I love the signing, but man, he was disappointing. I'm gonna drop him in D tier. Had like a 6 ERA. Man, I'll keep him in D. I think he was coming off injury, barely pitched in 20. I think didn't even pitch a full inning in 2019. Walked so many batters. It was insane how many batters this guy walked. But just tough year for him, but I think he'll improve. Same thing with Brad Brock. Started the year late with Corona. But I think he was C tier. Wasn't as bad. Maybe he struggled with the walks too a bunch. I'm gonna drag him in D too. Yeah, he wasn't good at all. And Betances also got hurt. Blew a game against the Yankees with the wild pitch. Brock was also really bad. Both guys picked up their player options this year, so I hope to see a better year from them. Robinson Cano, I think he played like an A or S tier player, but now we kind of know why. Because of PEDs, but he had a really good year. I think I'm gonna drag him in A tier just because the guys in S I think had superior years. I think there's three guys in particular to put into S, but Cano, he's obviously not playing this year. You guys know if you heard last episode or watched my video about it, you know I'm really excited about that. So Cano, I'm gonna drag into A tier, but it's kind of easy to know why he played so well. Cespedes, he was terrible. Hit a home run the first game. I wasn't even wanting Cespedes to play. I wanted Dom Smith to play, which thank God that worked out. And obviously he opted out because he's a little baby and didn't want to DH, which we wanted him to play left field too because he was a better defender than J.D. Davis. He just couldn't. I mean, in his prime he's a better defender, but he just couldn't do it. And after that one home run, he was just an automatic out. Swung at some of the worst pitches. I just lost all respect for the guy. So yeah, Cespedes F tier, but I'm not really disappointed about it. I didn't really expect much, and I don't really care. Conforto, obviously S tier, had a phenomenal year, really breakout year. I don't know where he finished the MVP conversation, but he was great. Hit so well. Was using the opposite field real well. Got on base a ton. Played the outfield pretty well. He made that insane catch against the Orioles to save like 3 runs. So, yeah, Conforto, huge fan of this guy. J.D. Davis, I'm also going to put in B. I think I'm actually going to drag Alonso and C because Davis definitely had a better year. What I was most excited about him was his defense. Like, his defense in left was terrible, but then he moved to third base and actually looked competent there. Not like a Gold Glover, but not like horrible. So excited to see JD Davis. I definitely think he's a building block going forward. So I'm gonna drag him into B tier. Had a below 800 ERA. Start of the year great. Cooled down a bit. Obviously got revenge against Aroldis Chapman, which was awesome. So yeah, B tier for JD Davis. DeGrom, obviously S tier. Should have come second in the Cy Young. Some people think he should have won it. Came in third, which is kind of BS. A lot of people are talking that he should have won it because of Bauer's competition. I actually think Bauer should have won it, but he's going to become a Met this offseason, in my opinion. So, but yeah, DeGrom, best pitcher in baseball. Honored to watch him every time. He's phenomenal. Not much more I can say. He started throwing triple digits this year, or consistently throwing triple digits. After getting older, which is weird. He throws 90-mile-an-hour off-speed pitches. It's nuts. Diaz, I think I'm going to put an A tier. Not great to start the year. He obviously blew that game to Marcell Ozuna, the second game of the year. Had that really rough outing against the Yankees. But after that, man, this dude was untouchable. So it looks like Diaz is back. It's still a god-awful trade. Thanks a lot, Brody. But yeah, Diaz had a great year. I'm really looking forward to seeing him pitch. He's just got to get his mentality right, and as long as he doesn't go back to his 2019 form, that's all good. Jerry's Familia, D tier. Can't stand this guy. Walks literally the first three batters he faces, it seems like. And I don't know how long his contract. I think this is his last year of his contract, which I've loved Jerry's before, back a couple of years ago, but he has not been good with his second stint with the Mets after coming back from Oakland. So. Just too inconsistent, man. But hopefully he improves. Jimenez, I think I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B tier just because he had Corona and didn't get that much playing time. But I think he's definitely our shortstop moving forward if we don't get a guy like Lindor or Trevor Story, someone like that. But replaced Med Rosario. He can field insanely well. He's super fast. And hit a lot better than I expected, so I'm really looking forward to Andres Jimenez. Steven Gonzalez or something like that? He didn't play, I'm pretty sure, so I'm not going to drag him. Gesellman was terrible. Became a starter for a bit, was awful. He's just so bad. He's no control. And I've liked him in the past, kind of a long reliever role, but he's really bad. Guillorme, I think he played like an A-tier player. He played really well, but he's not an everyday player. Was great as his bench role, so actually I'll keep him in C, but actually I'll track him in B. Great year, made some stud defensive plays. I think he played second, short, third. Huge fan of Guillorme as long as he's not your starter. Big fan of him. Franklin Kilome, he disappointed me a ton. I thought this guy could be actually a potentially pretty good prospect, but he gave us some. I think I'm dragging him D. He gave us some length in a Miami game, but lacked the control. But he's got potential for sure. Walker Lockett, I think D tier as well. He got DFA'd half of the year to the Mariners. But he started a few games. It wasn't terrible. Pitching in relief a bit. Wasn't awful, but wasn't anything great. Jed Lowry for the memes. I guess I'll put him in F. Didn't play a game. What a bust of a signing, but I'll just keep him off here. He didn't even play. Seth Lugo, I'm going to put him in B tier. Reliever Seth Lugo is an S. Some starts S, and some starts were just terrible. I like him as a starter, but I prefer him as a reliever. I think he's got potential as a starter just because he throws a lot of different types of pitches. He's really smart about, attacking batters multiple times through the order, stuff like that. He's spoken on how much he loves to be a starting pitcher, but as a depth piece, great. I don't know if he's a starting pitcher. It sucks, too, because in the bullpen, you can't pitch him every day, but he's great in the bullpen going 2 innings every couple of days. That's really valuable. So, yeah, Seth Lugo, B tier. Jake Marisnick, I'll put him in B tier, too. He predominantly plays center field against left-handed pitching and was really good in that role. I think he hit like 330. Really surprised with Marisnick. Hopefully we bring him back. As our fourth outfielder, obviously really good glove, ran into the wall in that Orioles game, but yeah, Jake Marisnick B tier. Steve Matz was so bad F tier. It's time to get rid of this guy. He has so many damn apologists and stuff. And I'm so done with this guy. Get him out of here. He was so bad, so bad. Like like really bad. I can't say enough how bad he was. Had like a 9 ERA. Tried to put him in the bull. He lost his rotation spot. He was originally the 2 starter because everyone got hurt or opted out or whatever. And lost his rotation spot to guys like Rick Porcello and Michael Wacha and Robert Kesselman. So that tells you how bad he was. He had like a 9 ERA. Also sucked in the bullpen too. I'm so done with him. Like I said, Jeff McNeil. I think I'll put him in A tier. Was cold a bit beginning of the year, but then was his boy Patrick Mazeika, I think, one of our catching prospects, gave him some tips, and he figured it out and started hitting for way more power. He got hot with the power towards the end of the year, so looked like the Jeff McNeil we all know and love. So yeah, A tier. Obviously played a ton of different positions. Played some third at first. Wasn't amazing there, made a couple errors, but then he moved to left, which he actually played surprisingly well. Him and J.D. Davis swapped. So yeah, this guy, I don't know who that is. I think it's some pitching prospect or something. I don't think he even played for us this year. Nito, when he was on the field, Tomas Nito played like an A-tier player, but he barely played, and then came down with Corona, and that kept him out for the whole year. I don't know what was going on with him, but I like him as our backup catcher. Super fun to watch behind the plate. Doesn't throw out runners well. Not a great pop time. But I like Nito, decent backup catcher. So yeah, B tier or C tier. When he played, he actually hit surprisingly well. So Nimmo, Brandon Nimmo, B tier, I think. He's obviously like an on-base god, walks a ton, but that's kind of it. A horrible, like absolutely god-awful center fielder. I've talked about that before. Hit a couple home runs, hit for a decent average, and anything great. But yeah, he gets a ton of walks. I'd be willing to trade him in like a Francisco Lindor trade. I know Mets fans love the guy. I like Nimmo too, but I don't love him as much as other guys do. But solid year from Nimmo for sure. Steven Nagosic, I think that is. Yeah, he didn't play. Nunez played like an inning and then got hurt out for the year. Decent utility guy, but yeah, F tier. Barely even played. Corey Oswalt, surprising. He had one really bad outing, and then I just remember, I think it was against the Nationals or the Phillies, one of them. And then he had a start against Miami, which he was surprisingly good. So I'm going to put him in the C tier. Which it's weird seeing Alonso in the same tier as these guys, but yeah, he did not have a good year last year. But anyways, yeah, Oswalt. I think he's decent as a kind of a AAA starter who can come up and be decent as an opener or something. I don't really want him to be an everyday bullpen arm or a starting pitcher or something, but not a horrible depth piece, like way back in the depth chart. But yeah, not much to say about Corey Oswalt. Who's this? Miguel Castro? Yeah, not a fan of that trade at all. Good stuff, but walks everyone. Blew that game against Philly. I didn't understand why, if we were going to trade for a reliever, you trade for this guy. Yeah, he's going to be part of the rotation next year, so I think he's got potential, but not great. Actually, he only had like a 4 ERA, actually. I'll put him in C. David Peterson, I think, B tier. Had some good starts, then kind of started to struggle. He pitched a couple games out of the bullpen and then started again towards the end of the year. I think he's our 5-starter for the future. Maybe go up a bit more. But I like David Peterson a lot. Good lefty arm in the starting rotation. Kind of that Steven Matz replacement. I think he was our first-round pick from Oregon a couple years ago. But yeah, I like David Peterson quite a bit. Porcello, D tier. He wasn't good. Now, the Mets weren't a great fit because he's kind of a ground ball pitcher, relies on good defense, and he had horrible defense, and we had horrible defense, but yeah, Rick Porcello, not great. I think this is Erasmo Rez. Honestly, no, I'm just kidding. But I'm putting him in A tier actually, just because he didn't pitch as much. But he had like a .63 ERA, and he was our long reliever. I think like the only run he gave up was like a home run to JT Realmuto. He was phenomenal as our long reliever. Definitely bring him back. It may have been a fluke, but yeah, he had a quite the year, and no one's talked about him. So next, Wilson Ramos, F tier. He was so bad. It seemed like he grounded to double plays every play because he was so slow. Um, Worst defensive catcher I may have ever seen, and hit like absolute dog shit. So F tier, Wilson Ramos. Time to move on. Time to get JT. Jacob Rame got claimed by the Angels, so not him. Rene Rivera, he was just like worse. Wilson Ramos, not much to say. I don't get why he was in the starting lineup. He was supposed to be like our third catcher, but third catchers should never play. In my opinion, you have your main, you got your backup. Your third is in case anything happens, in my opinion. Unless you have a very good third catcher, which Rene Rivera is not. Ahmed Rosario, probably D tier, really bad. I wanted to either look to trade him or there's a report that he's going to probably play multiple positions next year, so maybe try him out in center field because that's a big need. But yeah, not a great year. Just I'd rather have Jimenez play shortstop, but I don't hate Rosario. We definitely need more right-handed bats in the lineup. But yeah, I believe this is Ryan Cordell. I actually liked him going into the season. I thought he had some potential. And he hit a home run in summer camp. Super fast, like ridiculously fast. Played a good center field. I would have liked us to have him as our, fourth or fifth outfielder. That's why I didn't understand why the hell we traded for Billy Hamilton, which also the prospect we gave up, Jordan Humphreys, who seems like he's got pretty good upside. He just got released got DFA'd by the Giants, so we should bring him back. So we got Billy Hamilton for free, but he sucked too. But I like Ryan Cordell actually. That's him as our fourth or fifth outfielder. I think either you bring him back and then you compete. You have Jake Marisnik as your fourth outfielder, and you can compete between, probably them two, and you also got Malik Smith, who could be our fifth outfielder if we carry carry five outfielders. So yeah, Ali Sanchez, I don't know, F tier, third string catcher. He could be like our, third string, maybe backup catcher of the future, something like that. Not a great hitter, good defensively, but screwed up that play to the home steal from John Birdie, something like that. So yeah, not good. Seawald, he was so bad. He is so bad, but I think it's time we're finally getting rid of these guys. Seawald, he's gonna be gone. Rame's gone. Who else? Bachelor's gone. Like, these just garbage relievers we've tried to put out there. It's been terrible. Finally gotten rid of them. Chasen Shreve, I'm gonna put him in A tier. Yeah, he was a stud. I did not expect this from him. I was shocked how good he was, but great fastball, nice split finger. Good lefty in the bullpen, gave us a bit of length too, but I was shocked with how well he played. Towards the end of the year, maybe kind of started to stumble a bit, so maybe I put him in a B, but he played better than most of these guys, so yeah. And for his role, he served as a really valuable piece in our bullpen. Dom Smith, shit. Dom Smith, S tier, no question. He's probably the team MVP. Played first base, left field, DH. Hit a silly amount of doubles, hit for good power, hit that grand slam against the Blue Jays. Hit for good average, got on base a ton. No, I like him as first base or DH. I don't really want to try him out in the outfield unless you have to. Which he's not, horrific out there, but not great. I'd rather have, real outfielders out there. But, yeah, Dom Smith, phenomenal year. This is why I didn't want Cespedes playing. This is why I'm glad Cespedes opted out, is that you have Dom Smith playing now. All right, Drew Smith, probably B, C tier. Started out well, got sent to the alternate site. I don't know why, but he got sent for Brian Dozier, I think, who's not on here, but he would be F tier. He was so bad. Drew Smith was really good at the beginning of the year. I think he gave up a grand slam to Juan Soto or something. Kind of cooled down towards the end of the year. Maybe keep him in B tier, but as a a solid bullpen arm, good depth piece. I like him a lot. Stroman obviously didn't pitch, but F tier considering what he did, which I'm glad to have him back. But I think the reason he's back is because of Steve Cohen. But how he opted out right when he acquired enough service time after not pitching a game because he was injured. I guess I'll I'll take him off of here just 'cause he didn't pitch. Same thing with Syndergaard. Tim Tebow, S tier, no question. Um, I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm not even doing the memes. I'm keeping it that way. I don't even know why he's on this list, but Tim Tebow. Like, let's just pretend this is the Florida Gators back in like the football team, Florida Gators football back in I think was it like 2009, 2008. Michael Waka, he was brought in with Rick Porcello. He was worse than Rick Porcello, so I'd put him in F tier. I actually liked the signing. He seemed like he had high upside, but not good at all. Hopefully, definitely won't bring him back. Justin Wilson, I'll put him in B tier. I like him a lot. Hopefully, we re-sign him. Good lefty out of the bullpen. Struggled a little bit. I don't think his numbers were that great, actually, so maybe he was getting overworked a little bit at the beginning of the year. I think I'll put him in B or C. I'll put him in B, actually. He's probably our third best reliever. Danny Zamora didn't pitch. His role is kind of gone with, the 3-batter minimum not really existing. Or with 3-batter minimum rule, you can't really get lefty specialists anymore. But that was the majority of who else played for the Mets in 2020. I'm trying to think. Brian Dozier, he'd be F. Guillermo Heredia, what are you like, B or C? Oh, Robinson Chirinos, F. Todd Frazier, D. Who cares, man? Billy Hamilton, of course, he'd be probably F tier too. So that's my tier list for the 2020 New York Mets and how they performed. Hopefully we make some good changes to the roster. Go get me Trevor Bauer and JT Realmuto. Guys, I'm going to try to do some more solo videos, not just the podcast, some other content besides just podcast and quick reaction videos. So, like, comment, subscribe. 585-622-4931 is the number. Call in, leave your voicemails to get on the Big Apple Banter Baseball Banter podcast like usual. Guys, I'll see you next time.